Welcome to another episode of Coping with Life. I am your host, Scott. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Happy 4th of July weekend. And hopefully you can be safe and be well. I'm thankful for each and every one of you. On this wonderful holiday, just celebrating our Independence Day, I, being who I am, being, just being me, it's, for me, it's just another day, but I get why a lot of people like to celebrate it, and I'm all for it, but, I'm just me, and to me that's okay. But at the same time, paying my bills and trying to do everything, quote unquote, normal people. It's like, oh, I don't like paying my bills, I don't like doing, adult stuff. I do. I legitimately like looking forward to paying my bills, paying rent. Call it weird, but it's something that I'm very, that's what I do. But, it is a thing, and, I also want to appreciate everybody, and, it's been a rough week for me. Excuse me. It's been a rough week. Just some health issues. Battling depression. And I'm trying really hard to fight it, to be better, but it's I'm in a lot better place, but at the same time it's just I'm it's I would say it's just me trying to deal with things that I cannot control. But at the same time, there's a lot of good and a lot of positive, and I really like to find the positive side of things. And, excuse me. And so, thank you so much for listening to last week's episode. I know it was off the cuff and long, I appreciate each and every one of you. And this week, this is just, I don't know what today's episode is going to be, but thank you. Happy Saturday, everybody. Or whenever you are listening to this, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it may be for you. And, when it comes to, 4th of July, I growing up, it was like barbecues and, spending time with people. And, I think that's fantastic. I don't really celebrate 4th of July as an adult who lives alone by himself. That's not something that I do. And that is okay. But I am doing my best. I am doing well. So when I think about Independence Day, and to me, I think it is amazing that we celebrate, to me, I take it a lot different, because just that, America's, what they did, and everything surrounding how America, on 1776, it could have went a lot differently. If you haven't seen the movie 1776, somewhat, it's amazing. I enjoyed it. I think the first time that I saw it was last year. And it talks about, Thomas Jefferson, and it's an older film, but it's quite enjoyable. It's somewhat of a musical-ish. And but, it really tells you that, if a lot of things didn't happen, and a lot of things didn't go according to some plans, excuse me, it would have never, went through. It would have been a failed coup, but, I'm thankful for, that being not the case. But when, we take for granted, the past, and, I don't know a lot about history. I don't know a lot about things, and I really enjoy learning. But, I do hope everybody is safe this weekend, and it's because for me, growing up, being part of parades, and it was something that we look forward to. But it was a thing, you know. I used to, um, yeah, it's for somebody who has a lot of um, very sensitive ears. Um, Fireworks, some really didn't bother me, but I like really the gimmicky stuff. Um, but at the same time, we live in a world where, um, oh, I don't like this, so I'm gonna ruin it for everybody. Now, we're not gonna get into that, but we live in that world where people's opinions think that because the world that I grew up in, that world doesn't exist anymore. And, I think that's okay because, and, but, I did always look forward to a good pie. I really do like pie. And 4th of July always had good pie. But, depending of where you are in life, depending of, what you're going through, think if you are happy. And what I mean by that is, have you made the choices that you're happy with? Because, we all do things that we all do things that we may feel is right, or we may do things that contradict who we are as people. But at the same time, we have to live our lives, and we have to do what's best for us. And even if it hurts, even if it stings, but at the same time, you gotta do, you have to do what you need to do in life, and make the choices best for you. I'm learning, I'm, with it being Independence Day weekend, I know a lot of people are like, oh, 4-day weekend, woo! But for me, I take it in a lot different sense, and I like to sit back and I like to reevaluate choices and where I'm going. And I want to thank each and every one of you listening to this podcast. And thank you everybody who's sharing with your friends and family and people in your social circles. I appreciate each and every one of you. And this is a just a general episode, just nothing heavy, nothing too crazy. Last week's episode was off the cuff and pretty long, so this is going to be a little bit shorter, especially because it is holiday weekend, and so I thought I would be nice and just talk about life. And when I think about it, I've fought for so much in this world. I fought for my independence. I really did. And I'm proud of myself. And there's nothing comparable to, us doing things of going to the war, the entire war with Britain. I'm not really comparing that, but just independence. I'm doing my best. And one of the reasons why I started this podcast was, I'm going to talk a lot about mental illnesses and other things that are heavy subjects, but at the same time, I'm also going to just be me and tell stories about my life or things that are currently going on or what may have it. And this happens to be 4-day weekend. And I'm me, I do my best, and I know right now I can somewhat deal with the stuff that I'm currently dealing with. It's not hard to handle, but it does weigh down on me. But life goes on. So they say. But I do hope everybody has a safe weekend. And if you would like to support my podcast, please go to anchor.fm/copingwithlife. You can also find my social media tabs on that landing page, and other places to get the podcast. And we're also on Amazon Music, which I'm really excited about. But I'm passionate about doing this podcast. I'm passionate about this is me standing up for myself. I'm tired of being called a leech on society. I'm tired of people discriminating against myself and people who are disability. disabled, and mentally ill, and, being bullied, being harassed, being discriminated, a lot of businesses and people will try and sweep you under the rug. And this is me going, hey, I exist. I'm a person. I am somebody. I am somebody that has a brain. I am a human. Please treat me like a fellow human being. And I try really, really hard to be positive, even though recently it's really hard. And trying to be very, very, very positive. And again, thank you so much for listening. I know this is a different episode, but I'm just keeping it light, and just wanted to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. Honestly, I'm excited. I get to try and stay cool, and it's pretty hot outside, so wherever you may be, stay warm, stay cool, and stay safe. And it's amazing that people do things that train derailed. I had a good point, but that was not. I don't remember what I was going to go with that, and that happens a lot. So I thank you. Please be safe this weekend. Like I said, this is a shorter episode. There's nothing heavy. Last week's episode was long. This is going to be a lot shorter. I just wanted to say happy 4th of July. I do talk in circles. Please be safe. And again, if you would like to help spread the word about coping with life, and this is me coping with life, and trying my best, and there's a lot of things that I need to tackle and I need to deal with, and conversations that need to be have. But I'm excited. I'm really excited for the near future, and I'm excited for Independence Day. I'm excited for what may come, and until next week's episode, I thank each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you. And if you're not doing well mentally or physically, talk to somebody. There's people out there so much that will listen. You matter. And even if you feel like nobody's there for you, reach out. Somebody's going to take your hand. Somebody's bound to be there for you. I'm pleading that if you're not doing well mentally, or if there's something that you're battling with, don't do it alone. I've fought most of my battles alone, and I highly regret it because, it does more damage than anything. And so please reach out. I care about each and every one of you. And, I want everybody to know that you matter. So I want everybody to, and if you're not in the United States of America, this has probably been not an episode for you. I apologize. But I do live in America, and it is July 4th weekend. We celebrate it very much. Some people like to go overboard. So, and also, happy belated Canada Day. But I'm not gonna get into that. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. You have no idea. Again, this is a shorter episode, especially from last week's episode, but this week's episode, it matters. Until next week's episode, I don't know what next week's episode is going to be. I don't know where my headspace will be at. So it might be rambles. It might be something similar to this. I don't know. But I have goals. I have things that I want to talk about, but I have to be in the right mindset. Because basically, this is just my podcast where I talk about either random things, stories, or whatever may interest me. Again, if you go to anchor.fm/copingwithlife, there's the social media tabs. Feel free to reach out to me. And other ways to find my podcast. Feel free to share it with anybody in your life. I appreciate each and every one of you. And again, please be safe this weekend. I would love for everybody to come back next week and listen to wherever I may be. So, thank you so much for all the support and love and my daily struggles. I know life is not easy at the moment. A lot of things going along. So, thank you so much, each and every one of you. I care about everybody. And again, if you're not doing well mentally, please reach out to somebody. You matter. And, also, if something is bothering you in life, it's best to say it. If it's not going to bring you actual physical harm, say it. Be open. But again, you do you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But please be safe. I love each and every one of you. Good morning. Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. And I bid you adieu.